have been elected. We will continue to apply pressure. We will continue to demand answers. And we will continue to ensure
that's right,
that all of Tyrant County is protected, because that is the oath that he swore to.
Yeah.
Let us not forget Billy LaRae Freeland, Robert Thomas Renfro, Clinton Dawn Simpson, Jennifer Lynn Espinosa, Derek Lee Wynn, Southany Kingston, Robert Miller,
come on,
Jackson Lee Murphy, Ricky Farmer, Willie Good, Dean Ray Stewart, Jose Manuel Rivera, Javante Myers, Jason Glendon Martin, Abdullah Muhammad, Delana Price, Andre Wilson, Dale Garland Thompson, Rory Johnson, Kenny Leroy Craven, Nancy Lynn Nielsen, Dextory Williams, Lee Haney, Jared Daniel Chapman, Ross Harold Brewer, Baby Zenora, Cedric Teal, Bebo Hernandez Garcia, Timothy Matthew Razor, Ellison Monroe McCurdy, DeAnthony Lavelle Taylor, Jeffrey Wayne Buchanan, Jeremiah Noble, Tyler Huffman, Georgia K. Baldwin, Ismail Martinez, Harvey Greenwald, Jamie Russell, Leon Jacobs, Alvy Johnson Jr., James New, Edgar Alvarez, O-Young Park, Thomas Simpkins, Traylon Warren,
come on, baby,
Richard Marta, Lionel Mitchell, Kenneth Ray Perry, Kelvin Brown, Antonio DeLuca, George William Zink, Hayden Gitz, Jason LeVar Jackson, Adrian Chavez, Joanne Lemons, Darrell Jackson, Linda Carroll York, William Burns, Clyde K. Alexander, Carlos Rodriguez Munoz, Russell Qualls, Harold Kent Roberts, Ronald Kenneth Reese, Roderick Johnson, Anthony Johnson,
come on,
Chastity
baby,
Bonner,
come on, baby,
McClendon Caldwell, Vernon Ramsey, and out of respect for the family, all other victims unnamed.
yeah, that's
we
right.
will not forget.
Out of respect for the deceased, I'd like to take a brief moment of silence before I begin. Sorry. Mason Andrew Yancey was booked in Tyrant County Jail
come
a
on,
little more than 1 week ago. He notified jail staff that he was diabetic and had numerous medical conditions, but nonetheless, jail staff failed to provide him the medications he needed, and 1 week ago today, he died. This is a death that could have happened to any one of us, to anyone that we know. I'm sure plenty of us know people who are diabetic. My own father is diabetic. And let's also remember that Mr. Yancey was in jail pre-trial. He had not been found guilty of anything.
that's right,
But I'd like to take a step back for a minute and remember that this death is not just a local issue. This is part of a systemic failure that characterizes the American justice system.
it does.
I'd like to give you guys an international comparison. Compared to other first world democracies, American police kill 3 times the amount of people as Canadian police. They kill 3 times the amount of people as Australian police, something like 10 times the amount of people as British police, something like 30 times the amount of people as German police. Our police officers are receiving far less training than police in these other countries, and excuse me if I connect those two things. Let's also remember that people of color, black and brown people, are disproportionately affected by these killings. Our jails are overcrowded and are extremely violent. By international comparison, we hold more people in jail pre-trial than even Russia, and that's a dictatorship. And our prison system is unjust as well. Many prisoners are taken to private prisons, which are run for profit. The inmates are used as unpaid labor. Laymen would call that slave labor. And many of these prisons are refurbished slave plantations from pre-Civil War times. Look up Angola Prison in Louisiana. And this type of injustice is not just something that's distant from us. This doesn't just happen somewhere else in America. This happens right here in front of us. This happens in this building right behind us. I'd like to remind us of some of the people who have died in our jail. You've listed the names, but I think it bears repeating what happened to some of these people. Chastity Kajigius, sorry, I'm not fully sure how to pronounce her name, but she was interred in Tyrant County Jail in 2020. She was a pregnant woman. She delivered her baby alone in her cell without medical care. Jail staff was supposed to check up on her every 20 minutes. They failed to do so. She delivered her baby on her own and on the floor, and her baby died. Javante Myers notified jail staff that he had a seizure condition when he was interred in Tarrant County Jail. Jail staff was supposed to monitor him. They did not. He was found dead in his jail cell after a seizure. Anthony Johnson Jr. got into an altercation with jail staff. They pepper sprayed him, which closes the airways in the nose and in the mouth. And then they kneeled on his neck like George Floyd, and he died in jail subsequently.
George Floyd 2.0.
George Floyd 2.0. And this all in a jail that has been called the Cadillac of jails, one of the most well-equipped jails in Texas. You start to wonder if the leadership might not be the problem.
Sheriff Will Kill is a murderer.
69 people have died in Tarrant County Jail since 2017. And yet, many of these deaths have not even been investigated.
That's not even including Mansfield or Arlington.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They even arraigned one of them after he died.
Texas state law requires that Tarrant County Jail and any jail have an independent body investigate any deaths that happen in the jail. But for the last 20 deaths in Tarrant County Jail, this has not occurred. Instead, the sheriff has had his own people investigate the deaths. Now, if someone died in your house, would you get to investigate that yourself?
Absolutely not.
And why does Sheriff Wayborn get to investigate it himself when someone dies in his house?
Because you're a Republican.
What's the cost of murder?
I'm coming to an end. So, this all may be disheartening, but I want to end on a note of hope. With all of this injustice happening in our backyard, this leaves us with an opportunity as well. This means that we can contribute not only to making our county better and making our state better, but making our country better, making our justice system better, making our entire country more just by fixing this institution. So my call to action for you, call your county commissioners. Tell them we want independent investigations into all deaths that have occurred in Tarrant County Jail.
Follow the law.
Tell them that we want Sheriff Wayborn to resign.
Yep.
And we want him held accountable.
Yep.
Call Sheriff Wayborn too. Call his buddy, County Judge Tim O'Hare too. And come to the county commissioners meeting on 14th. I believe. Come to the county commissioners meeting on the 14th. I will be there.
don't care what elected official I am. This just does not make sense. I got elected to serve the people, not to cover up for the county. I will not do it. And so here we are gathered. We had 2 jail deaths in December. We've had 9 jail deaths in 2024.
Come on.
Our jail population today is just under 4,000. 3,990 something. Harris County in the Houston area has a jail population of over 10,000, and they just racked up their 10th jail death at the end of December. We've got 4,000. We've had 9 jail deaths. They've got over 10,000. And they're right there with us. We are exceeding. I mean, this is painful. Our sheriff, you have seen him say that these people come to our jail already sick and with pre-existing conditions. What can I do about it?
He can change the policy.
If you know, let me tell you, if it were me and somebody came in with a broken finger, I would send them straight to jail.
That's right.
You don't know how to prevent these jail deaths. You just want to shrug your shoulders disrespectfully to these families and to these folks' memories, saying they come in here with pre-existing conditions. If you know that, care for them. Your detention officers should not walk past people in crisis.
Thank you.
We've got JPS in the jail. We've got MHMR in the jail.
Thank you.
You do not walk past people in crisis
That's right.
and watch them expire. This is insanity. I am so glad you all are here. Thank you for being here. And if I continue to be the only commissioner that's speaking up and speaking out, I will be the only commissioner.
That's right.
I'm not hiding anything. I'm not covering up anything. And I am not out to get the sheriff.
That's right.
I would love to get him the tools he needs to fix the problem.
Hashtag accountability.
I've got to see the data. You've got to see the data. You're taxpayers. And perhaps with all these experts, we can figure out what the problem is in this jail.
That's right. What's the cost of murder?
And we will be paying settlement after settlement after settlement after settlement. Those are your tax dollars.
That's right.
Those are my tax dollars.
That's right.
This is ridiculous. What I have done is ask, I continue to ask, and I am in direct communication with the United States Department of Justice.
Come on.
I can call them and say, we've had another jail death and the name, and they will say the name before I can get it out. They know what's happening in Tyrant County. They do know what's happening in Tyrant County. They tell me it's just a matter of having enough personnel. So we're not out to get the sheriff. We want these jail deaths eliminated. You have JPS in the jail. You've got MHMR in the jail. Let's look at the Anthony Johnson Jr. case. He was seeking help.
Yep.
Okay? He got picked up, brought down here, when he could have been taken to the Tyrant County Mental Health Diversion Center.
They turned him down.
Okay? But no, he went to jail and was murdered. That's what happened. But we do have people in jail with pre-existing conditions. You know it. So treat them. Upon intake, find out what their problems are. That's what they do. I've toured this facility, I've toured every facility. I spent 5 hours in these facilities downstairs, downtown. I know, I've seen what happens at intake. So you know, if the people know what their pre-existing conditions are, they tell you. Why are you not caring for them? There is a problem. Please continue to come to Commissioner's Court and use your voices. Do not stop. I've had advocates before ask me, should we stop coming? And I'm like, no, don't come. Because we all are listening. And I can guarantee you that. What you say is later discussed. This is unfortunate, once again, and I'm not surprised. And we'll be back here. Y'all might as well plan the next route.
That's right.
Because it's going to happen again.
Come on.
I had spoken with one member of the family of the young man that passed recently. Distraught is, there are no adjectives to describe what they feel. Mr. Johnson and his family know what they're going through. So continue, please continue to lift your voices. And I'll continue to lift mine. As information, I have asked our county administrator to agendize the last 2 jail deaths. I need to be briefed. I need an update on what occurred in both of those jail deaths. What happened, why. So I expect the sheriff to be there. I've asked the sheriff to be there. I don't expect him to show up. But you show up. I'm still going to ask my questions to the sheriff to an empty podium. I will ask my questions. And you need to be there to ask your questions and share your anger, your grief about what continues to happen in this jail. And I have agendized a briefing so we can find out what in the entire world happened with the deceased man being indicted by a grand jury 6 days after his death. What in the world? How much of your taxpayers' dollars were wasted? Presentation of a dead man. I'm in there where the sausage is made, and I can tell you, you are right on track. Do not stop. What you are observing, don't think you're crazy. It's crazy. Thank you all for being here. I will see you Tuesday, January 14th. And thank you.
I'm fortunate.